Hi there, BookTube. I'm going to warn you now, I could be a bit overexcited in this video because it is an announcement video for a brand new readathon that's happening in April. The original inspiration came from Elisabeth of Bouquins and Books, but I'm her very happy and enthusiastic co-host for this. So what's it all about? Well, it's a month-long readathon. We're calling it PeopleApril, and we're announcing it now, so you've got a bit of time to plan and prepare if you would like, think about whether you'd like to take part. And PeopleApril will be the hashtag, and it's all about reading, sharing, talking about non-fiction about people, not people in general, not fictional characters, but real people, living or dead, individuals, named individuals, or it could be a family or a group, but you know, real and named. Well, that gives you loads of scope, doesn't it? Could be biography, could be memoir or autobiography, could be diaries and journals, could be correspondence, could be interviews, could be biographical essays, you know, any of those, and in any format. I don't just mean, you know, paper, audio, ebook. I mean, you know, could be, I was going to say self-centered poetry. I don't mean that. I mean, you know, poetry that's very definitely, you know, autobiographical. Could be autofiction, as long as it's, you know, it's definitely not fiction. Goodness me, I'm having trouble explaining this, but the concept is actually quite simple, isn't it? It could be YA, it could be a graphic memoir or graphic biography. It could be, there's actually some really interesting picture books about figures from history and inspirational figures that have been, you know, written for children. Any of those, and you only need to read, you know, just one thing to be part of this lovely new event. Now, although I've said you only have to read one thing, and that's absolutely true, just, you know, because it's a readathon and to make it more fun, Elisabeth and I have come up with some prompts. And these are prompts that can be interpreted as imaginatively and as loosely and as, you know, creatively or wildly as you like, because they are 4 quotations. And, you know, quotations because this is all about people, but because this is the first time Elisabeth and I have either of us actually sort of started a new readathon, we've got a little touch of imposter syndrome. So we have chosen quotations that are actually not real, you know, not certain if the person definitely said them, or downright misattributed or apocryphal. Let me tell you what they are. So the first one, someone will remember us, I say, even in another time. Now that is one of the most famous sayings, quotations attributed to Sappho, the Greek poet. But actually, we don't really know if she said that or wrote it down. It survived as a fragment, kind of reported by others with no context. But what a lovely inspiration for your reading. Obviously, anything LGBTQIA+, anything by a women writer or about women, anything to do with the ancient world, or, you know, people in history, islands, poetry, yeah, any of that. Next one. Let them eat cake. Famously, supposedly said by Marie Antoinette at the beginning of the French Revolution. Actually, it was already a known phrase. Rousseau talks about it in a story he tells in his Confessions 20 years before Marie Antoinette was ever supposed to have said it. I mean, we're sure she didn't say it. It's just was used as a way to show she was, you know, unconcerned about the fate of the people. So what does that give you? It gives you royalty and revolution, food memoirs, famine, people caught up in big events of history, fashion, perhaps. And yeah, well, goodness me, anything in translation. Yeah, plenty of choice. Next one. And this one I had no idea where this came from. Have patience, go where you must go, and hope, which was attributed to Martin Luther King, but is actually from Lord of the Rings, would you believe, and kind of found its way to being attributed to Martin Luther King via a song. Elisabeth will explain more. Well, what does that give you? Well, obviously, MLK himself, you've got civil rights, racism, social justice, religious people, things to do with political history, American, notable Americans, notable black men. It says go where you must go. So travel, anything to do with travel, travel memoirs. And it's got the word patience in there. And what might that spark off? Well, maybe a book that's been waiting patiently for you to get around to it. Last one. Stupid is knowing the truth, seeing the truth, but still believing the lies. Now, that's attributed to Morgan Freeman, but he never said it, the actor Morgan Freeman. It's not by him, and no one actually knows who said it first. It's just one of those great turns of phrase, isn't it? What is that? What possibilities does that open up? Unreliable memoirs, obviously. Anything where truth and lies get a bit mixed up. So politics, journalism, anything to do with celebrities, actors, films, movies. And what about all the interesting characters that Morgan Freeman has played? And he's done everything from, Shakespeare to The Shawshank Redemption, hasn't he? So lots of possibilities with those prompts there, but don't feel, tied down too closely to them. Elisabeth and I will do, as well as these announcement videos, and I'll link to hers as well, we'll do TBR videos and recommendations and suggestions, but we would absolutely love to see some of those from you. And we're going to do a community post fairly soon to invite you to vote on some possibilities for a group read if you'd like that to happen. But really, and there might be a tag too. Yeah, we'll see. But really, we just hope that you will want to join us in reading something in April that's in the sort of non-fiction through the prism of people. So tell me if you're going to.